the death of a soldier relative, way a soldier, but the scenarios are not the same. One is saying, say, a kum soldier ni, and yes, a bonitu, omo one seka kununo. There's nobody that could be murdered in that cold blood action. Our one seka on team, our on ye didi, our on kasa.
Police for because police form pen voni because no kwa ring krantie me wo pictures yina.
They see a shaman. It was an innocent soldier, Okoni baby, who was cold-blooded and killed by neighborhood, and then left the body on the street in the neighborhood.
I was young about the Godson TV Global. Minoga say, Minkasem free Kumasi, me Kasoa. Now, soldier ni Ben Lord, or Monsen some 2 barber soldier near Freeman, a home some every break. If I say you see a debut, Al-Wahab Farouk, Akasano pay. Actually, say Moses see how they are fat. Soldier for ne Kasoa as a seminar. I don't know. Now, we can only book in the Japan. Upper out, I be cancel their fat Kasoa as a seminar. Chroma and Kosishi. Is it a grove can on a bookend? Oboni. Muntins and Mako Sunina. Madame in Sadamano and Penifona Casano. Listen to them carefully. This is the Godson TV Global. Thank you.
Okay, first. Me pese and then we but no crane me hopa. Aden. Chese akukuduro and na me de abetena ha. The way Ghana ekono. O man nyina sorry. Enne ayra husem pa ni se Kasoa ahemfo bi a me hia wo mu. No mu ka yesi kwasi alaji bi. My body deep pain. Police from pain for ring cranty war. This guy is killing people. Me no kase o makumni pa o she fridge. Tradity. E kire ansa no mko hu ba bi e twa niti.
Omo de yeden.
Wo aba hadwene bia o bia, you know. Na tie awra husem a me de ba ha awie. One gentleman called a top police officer. Now the speaker say onemin kasa. O si orode onemin kasa. Na asem na ho no empanfo a ehyakiri no. Me ba na me be kasa pe. Ibe yi na di. Ena panyini no assure say no. Enye is also there be on kasa. So we share the fear na ewo police officer panyini mu pa eka say on pese ordina no betoto sa landguard kwasi alagio se wan because was MPP panyini bi pa ni law firm akwani di bonia na eho and they defending it no onu de osuro so wow baby agana yedu
Sempa FM
guy no to me ko efie say ne efie we me pe he cleans everybody there takes over the land obji efie nugu na wafa assassin Ghana here. This is the first warning I'm sounding to MPP in Painford. We'll fight any Ombama resign from the party. We can't sit down for criminals to rule this country. Now defending criminals, wicked, evil people. I will come and just him for me who keke. Me say police penino kase osrano there be on person name bekasa because ye kase we ya ono enana wanya trouble.
Sempa FM.
So wow, these police officers are supposed to protect us. The protectors themselves are afraid of langas. The protectors of the citizens are afraid of langas. I'll put my life on the line for the good people of this country. I'll fight this guy. Me manu last warning. MPP panyini wara me bondin. Now okay, who's a party in your bread? Nanado sacrificed his life so many years. President Akufo-Addo, MPP Panyfobi sacrificed their life to get this party this far. He told me go di langa sechi bomu kunipa na debi aye bo MPP fodi. The guy mentioned Papa Nidi. He funu ba so omu bo nidi. police in Inzu boy, and it was slow. Me, I will go to him nicely and tell him, Ebi anu onim, so you soon do because Akwabite opposite chief of staff of FIE, Citizen Kofi Amwaire, na Akwanu Kojina Sasi, now the chief of staff would be near Koje. And I'm saying, Sister Frema will not do that. So I did my investigation. I called Protozo and I'm saying, Muna Mutiana, chief of staff, Dabaina, or Fumadia, or try and confess us. Oh, honorable. Akwabia was chief of staff opposite to. And what did he do? Intimidating Kofo. Ebia, sa law firm no, enim sa Akwano, Okodi Bonia, or the sa law firm needing any to. So I give benefit of the doubt. Any akwasi ayini alaji ni jiso kumi wagana. Oh, me boys neguan. Memo makotata no so ankasa. Langas versus Langas. Se sa na mpe wagana. Because a police force on protecting ye. Ujafu, me say ni tone. Say ehua ewonu mu awie no. Me say me woso me tisam say eish. What a country. That wicked, evil people dominates. Police for because police for pay for because no one can ring Krantia. Me one pictures in na. Krantia. Kasoa for na what to die ama mu na minimum. Kasoa police phobia what to die ama minimum. Adabi. President what to go oh ba beti ho. Be the evidence ko. Because Bray and Sana Odu baby a wodri.
And the information I want to say, Kwesi Alaji we no any MPP panyi bi na eye adwuma. Edi di sa adwuma no wo ho.
Ono no. Odi boni sesi apa ofa phone pe wo wa na law firm na ba. Oti tani pa no law firm pa na ye ma show. No wajai. And na be hoy when the police officer just say alote from the voice. Osuro was David minua. He using the word minua. Mean timi no nka semwe. Misraw me am fantasy because mekabewe politicians or contra radios no kape me na no menya asem there be enye yie omo akasa nkofo so ene disa brand yachi ene odi ewuo ewo ho me say me ho jojo me say wow Ada Kwesi Alaji should be ready. I got Shama boys, I got Manima Mamobi,
but I don't know a recipe for chaos. And
there should be chaos because
what
now policy for
you go and speak to the president in
policy for
take that ground.
Soldier for
president Momunko Kasa.
Say akwaba ko be man Kwesi Ado no pabi na ma soldier for kotata no easily go. Oni no di gwa to abre Alhaji Bature. Ne wo papa nice guy. Many kwabra Santini Alhaji Bature ene ko hia no move mpe. And say na wo fa na udi boni sa. Who do you say? No. I'll die for the good people of this country. Who police in yes down? Langas for Sidama. I will expose him. Who do you have some pictures in a few pictures in here? Yet me Ghana. Emma Langas phone take over. Mammy be the need ya breme. Edino boy a free me chrome. Or the Takeshi no the Langas echo. Our airport residential area. And now the force we didn't go for so. Airport wa yet demarcated for so many years. And that obikwa survival of the fittest. The highest bidder and the strongest. We are not in the Plato's ideal world where justice is in the interest of the strongest. No way. It's not going to happen. I'll put my life on the line again, just as I did in East Legon area. And Yajuma, me say me was soldier for boys. Woma kotata no an wo hu because police for you mu. Now we are police for pay from Korean Krantia. Krantia ne bo say. Now who lawyer no who so law firm e could defend this criminal. How much does he pay you?
I said also a right to an attorney.
Yeah, and I'm saying to jeopardize the good people in MPP. No. Enyejuma. Airtime, papa. And I'm not say, eish. Now no one say the speaker. I didn't want to say anything. I listened to him. And the man was panicking. panicking, say, please. And for me, the media, men can be anchor. Sa him for na kasanya kukudro, and wabe kasadia, and yet take it like that. But me pass a police officer, baby, I'm a dream. Mean to me, because Niawo can encourage. Oba homesino na se pa men kan jiro uchi ni se sia papa we obaba be yi no ampa so ahemforo so bai hombo the same papa di kire me. Now a very strong in MPP, very renowned respectable person. I don't think say he knows said that is what the guy is doing, so I give him benefit of the doubt. Say the law firm krana edi akwanechi, they have to stop, because baby I what do. You make more money than your law firm. You have a reputation.
Okay.
How can you allow this guy to destroy your reputation? And destroy MPP so come. No. Hey, me want cruise no. Yes, you better start it. God, there should be a war against this langas. No, because we cannot sit down because the police in everyone who say want to be protected.
But the IGP has said on countless occasions, police they are in control.
No, best school for some Methodist. But IG, I'm sorry, the truth is the truth. We can't allow Langas to take over this country. I will get some soldiers, some police from the to talk 9 cars in Mamma. A soldier from the that one they trust them on magic car. Shoot at sight.
But I no need to me to order for the military.
And I shoot at sight. One day to me young. And wouldn't need to me. It do me so the outcast minute to me. But only over to me, so to me refie.
The police will deal with him.
Ya one Ghana high. Ah, what's the crowd man from Manfia was a wash. Police make us a majority. Basic police, you know, I will a whole tuna or the Kasa away. Said Debbie, Mr. Debbie, assembly there. And
I just say, so.
Yes.
Then speak to the IGP and answer to the President of the Republic.
President, I'm not back.
Okay.
Okay. Because this thing can't go on.
Faruk Akwaba. Apon bohode.
Ayo.
Na na me hu acheza.
Ye nenam ho.
Obrani de yedu echi. Ye nenamu. Looking fresh always.
Thank you.
Hey, Faruk Al-Wahab.
Boss.
Oh, Ghana.
No, I have.
Oh, yeah, sure. Untu kwai.
I came about 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know who pay ya sir.
Jose.
Who pay ya too much, are they? What did you?
Oh, David said most of Sonana. Sometimes no one check me time in
time moody actually.
Oh, so say.
And I because every holiday na we enti I'll buy.
Oh, David send me a libra and say time na me time no. So momo coordinated time am dey adwuma say about 2 hours work. So no you share any coordinated time. It's as and when it is sometimes you don't plan your time, it just happen. Nyame fault. So you share now nyame say me a libra. I'm just only trotting.
Very well. Once again, men some more akwaba na men na was say your tones are frail. Na waba na ye May Day, Workers' Day, a holiday. Na only ye be ye ejuma ama Ghana for ati. I mean, there be a Ghana for a happy senko mu be hu. Ye das. Yamra fie, ye ntisi fie. Na before ye be ba nsem na nkasa so no mini kan fanfa. The last time one Nkrofobi ye nsemmone kakra kire soldier for Ashaman.
Yes.
I mean me who stand.
Yes.
Baby na o the free but I think you were in support of whatever the military did to Ashaman for.
Yes, at that time. Yes.
At that time.
Yes.
Now ina yenko dan sorry Ashaman me say Kasoa.
Yes.
Adia for Francis so journey ayaye ne sa.
Yes.
And a man for in quote dream say whatever happened wo ho no a bit messy, we say a man for you very careful.
Okay.
You just said at that time.
Yeah,
but now your take on what the SU we say no Kasoa.
Okay.
Your advice and your take on that near day.
Okay, first of all, I condemn any form of murder, whether legitimate or illegitimate, including even your friend is saying statutorily sentenced death row. I'm against that. Religiously, personally, I'm against any form of murder. Now, with regards to the soldier for now, case scenario, the two cases are not the same. The death of a soldier relative, way a soldier, but the scenarios are not the same. Me need the facts of the Kasoa one only to read, say, it was land related, assassin. Whether it is validated, say, no cresa, assassin, and assassin is left in the balance. Say, mean cannot mean to me, and kasa ampa assassin. But in absence of that fact, they see a shaman. It was an innocent soldier, Okoni baby, who was cold-blooded and killed by neighborhood, and then left the body on the street. In the neighborhood, one is saying, "Ukum sojani," and yes, there's nobody that could be murdered in that cold-blood action. One sika on team, on ye didi. On kasa. So what does it mean? It means that he might have struggled or shouted. Soldier wouldn't die just like that. Even excuse me, so be the sick cry, may God forbid. You scream and shout. So are we saying that small road, that neighborhood, that window, people were living there, people were living in their rooms, people were living in their homes. So if a murder had taken place against a soldier, against any individual, na de not to street so you be back room or be backyard and your park be soon no to and say order in a your friend is a street so a both sides in your houses and that's one tier. Then I'm to say if it should happen even today, soldier knows how to defend. They are to defend the nation. That is the hallmark of a military Juma. And it's principally so okum soldier like that. Now the people in the area, Obeka is a military for Eddie Kaimai, what is called only a press conference, a press release. So the people in the area should voluntarily try to say omuma information leading to what happened. Did anybody come forward? The answer is no. Obi to me volunteer information, the answer is no. Then if you leave the military in a vacuum, say what she military atade, and he was screaming say we a soldier. He was screaming say we a military ni. So about girlfriend who, so about papa who, does it warrant anybody so be kum obi in the neighborhood? Now the whole household, say 10 houses kwan will be also wanted, but they saw the body the next military would invade. I told you a story, and the story was very simple. It happened with Captain Kojo Chikata, retired late Captain Kojo Chikata of Ghana. When the Ghanaian troops call Congo, how he settled in Angola or call Congo, no, you heard at the time of a young captain, our the Ghanaian troops call Babia, some were trapped out there, Omukumbino, and any troops were the Koyeno. The announcement and then the stand was that as they are going there to redeem and recapture the position and then also make sure say Ombe liberate Omakan. His statement was that anything movable, are you listening? Anything movable, they should ground it down, including dogs, animals, and human beings. That is what soldiers are trained to do. A Ghanaian Captain Kojo Tikata, you can call Ghanaian army, whoever, a lot of them are there, they know of this fact. Anything movable, because they don't know who the enemy is. And he took a troop with that said Omia 5 and not 10. No Akolusubia, he wouldn't come to Ghana alone as a leader, as a commander, and where is your trooper? Mekum Omawu. And he took that action. Heaven knows how many of them they killed before they liberated the people. And you want to mean sorry. So be a military uniform. Na Ghana yetimiya young boys. No mako gange, no mabu military. Case by case studies basis. Yes, so we saying in the case, you know, as you said, say a lander, it is unjustified meaning. But if it is lander, or no any private affair, mean to me can want them. Whoever he has an issue with, you know, that is another thing. But then that comes to the topic of what the military of Ghana, the assignment, the recruitment, the training, and the professional career that is vested in them to act and what they are supposed to do. That is where my beef is. So if it is related to lander, it is not new. It is true. Because BSC George Otibonsu land, military in uniform, with military car with GA registered number.
Just few weeks ago. Yeah. And
I what so stupidly. I'll use the word. I'm sorry. I'm not like that. But this time around, this stupidly. Look at how they went out there to that neighborhood at Ajengano, sitting on military pickups. The man videoed and captured them. I have some of the videos. Now mo tete pickup now mo na sensen ho. Assuming say nipa na mo koye saade no. If there was any sniper, if any of his security have loaded guns no mde atete, mo bubu dan wie mo kona mo tete pickup so amosre no, the person could have finished all of them. Relatively, is that a military training? So they are dumb when it comes to some of these things. So what really goes into their training? What are they to do and what are they to do? That brings you when Ghana, Niger issue, and the ECOWAS Niger, Mekachi say, you go and bring a protocol military officer who had not gone through any training for 6 months. Now, so they know Niger, you must be a waste because you waste the body, you waste their lives. And to say, if the military or soldier understand what he's doing, and know where Juma ye, and a barras ye train you without any reservations, ye train you will not turn yourself. Say obeko no akwa landguard because seemingly all over the country now, everywhere there is land issue.
That is what we use military to do.
That is what we use to do now
because omuni adwuma bi
oni adwuma ye. But then in other jurisdictions, let's call Israel in perspective. Israel is the smallest army size, one of the smallest in the world. Much as I'm not fully in support of what the things they do, but ABB woman kasa manufacturing, woman kasa production. How many weapons? How many artillery? BBN wa omoto every obi ho. Israel is Israel manufacturing BBA. What about the Balkans? What about the Croatians? What about the Serbians? What about the Czech? Obiya and military on one na idea on one manufacturing BBA A to Z. The one ni no na kese high pro enema bia on so but obi so be so be free no. Young Ghana military, not even common farm. We don't have farm even for Ghana army. They themselves doing nothing. The country is not at war. The whole Ghana, as I've always told you, say there is a green bush. You need obi any military presence or baby obi kontokwa. You need the presence of any rebels in any part of the Ghanaian bush. Our military fully active. Two holding problems. Our country and military team solve here.
Me so. I mean, once a year far soldier for you far a senior high school for me can recruit, yes. Can officers. Now you far tradesmen for
yes.
Yes, be okay. Where you fitter, where you engineer, where you say those days.
Yes.
Those days school mom we BT building construction and ones for. Farouk, share acquire ye wukrum ha, and you won't see any military men cry because the contractors, you know, and any or more, and in Kama Sama Rudy, Ubu engineers, yes, I'm 48 and 49 engineers. 48
regimental,
and you won't see them there.
Mami Kacho.
Say, ya don't know Muina say, or guide bangia, now or guide to say the land.
Mebaho.
Does it really make sense?
Mebaho. Which country on earth that is one military?
Top radio.
5, 6. An army commander should tell some of us who says military men, personnel, or trucks, no mudi obi private bank, government bank, no omo Judicial filling stations, private company. Now, but if the military really have something to do, is that the work of the military? So nobody is afraid of them. That is why because a Ghana military no ye de this or kokon Niger no. Now make us say only Langard fight to Kromulusu. Langard fight to Kromulusu. Because that is not your training. Because the military must be seen as one of the highly respected body. American military, what after 2 days I wash a uniform no. Or no cry no, they hold the person in high esteem. Say what cry Ghana United States flag. Cry say what salute to say or worship the country no or defending the country. That alone is even enough to take him to the another stage of life. Na yenya there, ubehu MP, obia chusu peke military ope. Na military kra, excuse me, oba the only person in the system that's supposed to have a military is the commander-in-chief of Republic of Ghana. Onunkwa na ese military dinachi. Is the commander-in-chief. Any other person could be a police. The defense is for the military, for the government, for the president. He's the commander-in-chief. Only there, yes. Oh, here one police, oh, here one army. To balance the civil and to balance the defense. That is okay. Not to the sense MP. Or no choose to pick military as well in Kofi. Or choose to pick military in Wofi. That is what it is the case. If you are talking about a country be or rough, radical system, it is a Colombia, your friend is saying other parts of the world, Ecuador, El Salvador need those places, any Mexico, you can say it's okay, military, they can guide the bank. And no, even with that one, it's seen as the company of the military. They have a company. That is the tax force company, which they work and also collect the money to take care. It's also internally generated fund for the company. Not the Ghana Ministry of Defense account. Not the commander-in-chief or the Ghana Armed Forces chief of staff account. No, it doesn't work out like that. Your country is radicalized. Into there are certain positions, government institutions be or they let the military to go and support. Ordinarily, no, the police is enough to take care of it. Now, your team free that kind of services to the people, services by the military in your film, and all what we are seeing is say. And I mean, okay, say after this program, and you know we are, you will find military men on pickups going to guard somebody's property, somebody's land, or demolition exercise. And then the history and the story, it's always very simple. The military command says, we have not authorized anybody. But we have not seen anybody that they brought also in books. Mr. Otibonsu's case in perspective, in scenario, as a reference point. The numbers were there. So the military cannot tell me, say they don't know who was driving the car at that night. If the person is brought in, you should show who were the people sitting on the car, not more less than 5 or 6. Where are they? Have we seen one person numbered?
So do you think they have to punish that and
it is not to punish them. Is it the services to be rendered by Ghana Army so that we know that we have a military that work demolition exercise. Demolition exercise. Meanwhile, long-standing feud between Alabanyo and Nkonya. They are not up to 24 or Tiabofre. Ghana military cannot solve that problem. With all due respect. Alabanyo Nkonya, what about Boko? What about Boko?
Day in and out.
You go and build a barrier at Boko, and then an assailant will come behind there and kill the military. Military Boko. Ometima solve issue. No. So what is your beef on people's land? What is your beef? And it's just so rampant now.
Why are we there? Why are we here? I mean,
why are we here? Because of what? Disrespect to order. Because we don't, as a country, we don't respect our own services, laws, rules, and regulations.
At what point any who say a soldier for and a military much I say yes or no? Because military who so busy or be guide or be land at what point and omulusu omu control
two Dansuma police officers in the 90s. Elko your friend Sablekuma Emma Obakai sa incident of the police people who were ginger any ninja.
Yeah.
They buried them alive, concreted them. Those people, some of them are still serving. They are serving, I think, life sentences. At that time was the beginning of all these genesis.
Oh.
We didn't have these things. That was the beginning of the land guards. Now start to Accra. It has led through that. But then for you to know, say, all the military guys on properties are government high-profile officers. Government high-profile officers. I don't think so. I'll be able to get access to any police or military officer to go and do that exercise.
David. Fire service crying na campus.
Do you understand me? And you shall land in a military focus so echo guide any domu yeno. You see?
I mean government officials.
Most of them.
Yeah.
And then of course predominantly also other estate developers.
More connected to politicians.
Yeah, because if even they are connected to politicians, some of them genuinely go to the military and ask for support, for guide, etc., depending on the terrain. Which I'm saying, say, if there's a justification authorized by Oma hierarchy be are supported by a court document. I may not have necessary problems. It is also maybe to defend, but not traditionally said military na journey post. Now a certain captain or certain brigadier or certain command on one instructions say I've sent this and that to go and do XYZ. No more on authority because also not only baby ako. But if there's a military, yes, yes, or Sambo Niama, Israeli military or Yaya telephones, eton. Wayet Bangladeshi, military or Niama or produce Niama or Pam polo shirts, Bangladeshi military or Pam polo shirts at the Dubai in the name of a disguised company. Are you getting me?
Me too,
Philippines, military. They do a lot of things. Don't pam macra panties. Military, Philippine military. Pam panties. There is an international brand, Victoria's Secret. Go and ask them. So American they pam the Victoria's Secret. Military take job and work. If they have nothing to do, redundant. They make service and make money. They are not going to say that produced by Philippine military, but they have a disguised company that happens to be original as a manufacturer, but the job itself is done by military. Na Ghana army uniform. Woko Accra na wako to military uniform. No wako Kasoa, no wako pe hotel ni, no apamamau. They can't even sew their own uniforms.
How can they respect you?
Ghana,
how can I respect you?
Yes, that is how we brought our military to her knees. So woman can send the tom uniform. No aton empabwa, no aton cap, no akwa pam. So what kind of military that are we? Luckily, Ghana, I would forever say, is the Switzerland of West Africa, and then Switzerland of Africa. Obi any country we say any problem. And the country will be also attacking country where to be the most miserable and messy country because our military is so soft, so weak.
Top radio.
But say at say omoko your friend is say omoko Lebanon and so omoko we say I mean your military na normally omo defense. That's what
musku na mko eni anche mo hwe me ko makaranta beduma bon. Because if I'm to educate you there is a difference between going for a combat war and going for peacekeeping. They go for peacekeeping. Be kwachra there.
Yes, you kokra. Do say tokwa mo edane ya bohwisu na munya makwa underground.
No, but you are a peacekeeper. I understand them.
Yes.
They are peacekeepers. South Sudan so omo. Ye share omo, ye no omo be bebre. E den okoye. Peacekeeping. You are not going for aggression. One kon tokwa. It's only when you attack them and ombe shake up kakra. Yes, but beside that, if you're a peacekeeper, now one should say, Ghana did 20
before Betima atutu okra this a UN cry control.
And then I make sure they are going for peacekeeping. Peacekeeping, you don't meddle yourself up in that country. No problem. Say, oh, kwa. And America say Ghana military say or the 250 at the Lebanon or bar or the 260 neighbor. And he's saying, Omo maka hono, uye military na ko bi country na no bi ko wo a wo de akra n beka ho aba. Nigeria army ba Ecomac, omuko Ecomog, Eco Sierra Leone no. Omuka flight ne ba no omo return a, ebi ankra omugusu no omo iremo na omakọ form Sierra Leone no, ene Liberia no. Omunko abo one full flight. Do you understand me? Into one kontokwa oko peacekeeping. And it's all the 200 troops don't call.
So when I say Commander in Chief and I say you blame and CDS yes. And I say Defense Minister. When I say blame.
Listen,
for all
the
this.
Defense Minister is a ministry. Then when you come to the job itself, Defense Minister has got nothing to do with the ministry. How the army do their
so thing. CDS and I say yeah.
On the command, on the how it works. You have to tell Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense, think of is the ministry or not in the interface between the ministry and the government. They don't make laws for the soldiers. Ministry of Defense
CDS no do proposal ba and I said this the idea but said this is what we want to do. Now the Commander in Chief see there be me I don't support that. This is not their business.
So be it. That is the reason why our soldiers Need access even who they employ or whom they take on. Recruitment, if they will tell you the truth, if the Ministry of Defense, if politicians and they recruiting or they bro, they only bring the boys omo trunk and omo your friends say omo mattresses
party boys
at one gate, then you have to take them. You don't screen them. You cannot screen them. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You don't call Bondasi na chance. They run away. They can't. And they disrespect even the commanders on the ground. They disrespect them, the sergeant, the commander, the RSMs. They respect them. They don't even submit to the training. And then when it comes to even say, postings, they choose and pick where they want to go. Because you, the commander, you are receiving instruction from anywhere possible. Send Makureni or Accra or no Buaminti keeping Wakra. Into Tamale Onko.
Live on top 103.1, 50 minutes after 4. Final point, and the bro holiday edition of Final Point, and the bro 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the bro from when you be catching and says or feel say about 7 p.m. and they are 7 p.m. on fana feeding into us on journey see na ye kona na makacho on command doors ye bedin komo makacho say Farouk ye man of many parts intino ye befa baabi abi ye hwe military kakra Farouk say wo ye CDS see enka wo measures bang.
The first measure is to go back and look at the recruitment drive of the Ghana Army. It's completely abysmal.
And do you think you can do that?
That is what you should be able to do. That without that, you are not a military. Military works on instructions of military. We're having the flag given to you by the country to defend the country.
Which of course you have someone on a commander in chief.
Or a commander in chief does not mean so. No. If there's something happening at the presidency, the fallback is the military that has to move.
Can you threat the commander in chief with something so that whatever officer beboa or military no yeah or support yeah?
My instruction, my advice. Example.
Okay.
President Bush visited Ghana.
And at top radio.
President Kufuor time.
Yeah.
When he was, I'm on national air, so people will tell you. Those who were there, Kojo Pianim and Co. They were there at the executive wing of the President Chief of Staff.
Okay.
Before President Bush entered the Ghana President's office to have a meeting with President Kufuor has to come out for his room to be searched. His instructions from United States.
Our president of Ghana, the president of land.
You signed as an undertaking of the security requirement before so Abe visit you. Now, plus minus, we can go into details. But when President Bush was leaving out Ghana, the instructions was that, including military, including everybody on the tarmac, including immigration officer, nobody was supposed to turn around and look. President Bush. And I remember at that time, who was the commander of the airport, security commander of Ghana, Kotoka International Airport. We were with him at the gate. I had the badge. All the visit, anywhere President Bush went, we went there. We went to the presidency. So I'm talking about what really took place. Odru Hono, or say, I'm there. They say, come on, get the hell out of here. They're totally free. American Sergeant Unisi form.
In charge of Ghana's airport.
Ghana's airport at that time. Go and ask him that I said they didn't even allow him to enter. Immigration officers were turning it. Nechi the tarmac and an nice nanim wall. That was the instructions. Now listen to what follows. When President Bush had walked on the red carpet, the only person, more media men, all of them, yadimugu cargo truck so on airport, media personnel with their cameras. Instructions from where? From the American Ministry of Defense, the American Defense, the Secret Service, the CIA, the FBI's. They all come as a joint force and instruct the U.S. president what is to do. Now listen. Bush is flamboyant. He didn't really want to because he had never been a military. Clinton was never a military. Obama was not a military. But George Bush senior be military. No. They know how to obey instructions. And to Bush and President Kufuor, as he normally was working brag or the commander I'm referring to the American commander of the security of President Bui. He shouted at him. Or
shouted president.
You dare not. Koyes actually Nana Akufo-Addo. Oh man, I mean, Koyes actually any African president. But South Africa they do. He shouted at him to stand there. And so I watch a US president cannot sit in even his own car. The beast, you want to meet them with that State Department, with that defense, with that security, with that secret services, tell him to go into the car. Because they were taking instructions from America.
Wow.
Because they were being satellite. So when they agreeably, he had the instruction to allow him to sit down, and didn't start to pampem. Don't go and hit your head. No can share car anymore. That is how it works. So president, you're a commander in chief, but the military has to control you. It has nothing to do with Minister of Defense. Minister of Defense, he has nothing to do with how the military should do their things. They plan and plot and design their own strategy how to defend, how to follow a president. And to one now win him recruitment drive. Now be as it may say, your politicians, are decided what goes into our life. As far as our services delivery is concerned, that is okay. Fine, say, say when the DH, when the man is coming a campaign, sadly, but when say, the boys in Kwabro say, protocol recruit, Obawa, let the military laws prevail. That is the defense. Let them understand the discipline. That is the defense. Ghana Army. Remember the story on the military for so montiase. Me say, they are too beautiful and too handsome even to be a military to go on a combat. Now for military, Obako cantonments area. No. Military and pedicure and another Obako on them uniform shen. Yeah, and pedicure and manicure. Child the military or no, yeah, and pedicure. Niger military or no pedicure. That what could you answer on any cocoon? You see, we have just limited and brought our military to so low value. And it's so sad, say, a young man sitting in a car, killed. So sad. What did he go out there to do? Say, on one land, no crana. As long as say or share uniform, no, it could have been say, Osu, it became on one assassin. It could have been say one guy. It could have been say, your friend is saying, an unfortunate situation, and a cocotono. But it has been a practice, say, said now, no, military for guide the land, military for demolish it. And they be a share uniform crack up, a threat, Emma whoever will be a homo feud over the land into a kunu because a military one kuna be on so babikunu. Naturally, or no military net you crown. I don't think they need to be a crown. But see how miserably Oko meeting on timely dead. You couldn't free. He only knows what he went there for. He only knows. Now he was not on duty, but he was in a uniform. So if you are not on duty and you're a uniformer, what are you seeking to do? What are you seeking to attract? You're attracting fire on yourself. And that is what you got out of it. It is so sad. It is so painful. Say a young man, or one ire, or one ba, or one mami, or one family at this time, no, Ubiakunu. And Ghana, as it is, you and I know, say, until the next 20, 35 years to come, 40 years, and unresolved mystery of death. As I've told you, nobody. Ghana kills more than any country in West Africa. No country in West Africa kills more than Ghana. No country, I'm talking about Ghanaian killing each other. Either ritual murder, land, days, battery, wife, children. Ghana averagely for the last 15 years, there's no country. Whoever wants to challenge, Minister of Interior can come, police can come, they should bring the data. Even Attorney General, unresolved murder cases, unresolved edaho.
Not even Nigeria.
Not even Nigeria. Nigeria talking about in numerical sense of the population. But average sense. How many times does somebody killed somebody in Togo? A whole year they don't register more than 5.
How were there? Because you are not there,
Papa. And I make sure say
unless maybe wait within and you be na bia
make sure say I'm telling you. I am telling you. So take it from me. Ghana kills more than any other country in WhatsApp. We've been killing ourselves. Check it, Boko. How many armed robbers? Koko Senegal, armed robber will be 5 minutes after Senegal, they don't register more. The whole 2 years, they don't register more than 20.
But you always say, Ghana is the most peaceful country.
Peaceful of the nationals, we, the citizens. But I'm talking about killings. It's peaceful. Baby and Tokabi, civil uprising be war. Baby a rebel uprising be war. Baby a hold up of military and police.
But yeah, yes,
you can't come nipa bia. Obi sofo, or say why no makumobi nurse ni near see no life. Yakocha ke nipa no da ho we akum. How many politicians could do say na nkofo akum mo? Journalists did say na akum mo. That in Cote d'Ivoire no cry why war raged. Have you heard it? Ko Gambia ne ko kumobi. Ko Senegal, what Guinea? Mali won say Mali akum nipa. Benin ha what so biawu. Every blessed day, I'm robber killed this, I'm robber killed that, I'm robber killed that. Put that one aside. Nigeria, I need more time than near Tessanded. Nigeria robbery cost, but I'm talking about look at the vast land and the population of 250 to 350. Now our population just only 28 million or 30 million. Every blessed day, we are journalists, Ghana Web and other news platforms. Every blessed day.
I didn't tell you to put stop to this.
How do you put stop? Because one, we have bad judicial system. Two, we have bad information processing system. We gather information, but we process bad information. And the police will take the complaints. You go for the national bottom, you go to police hospital, waiting for whatever. Why many of these murders and the police are saying Yahunipano? Ye the Ebachi Nipano Suswa, or no ankasa na ye were admitted in up to now or court trial. In the case of Mankesim Genom Kuno.
Yeah.
Yachi nipa miyem sampayen yekuno. Is it a country that you should waste time and energy to wait for any lawyer to come and sit in such a case?
Bechem guy no chuchobi ni ono ani nuade she
free of charge. Selan ya dene court for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they pronounce judgment.
Yeah.
Na yes say state resources.
Sitting MP.
Ye near fat docket say is going to Attorney General Department for advice. How many dockets know Attorney General and who is advising that docket?
And I also blame why.
What's that?
Judicial system.
But then your judicial system, Attorney General, can't you dispense of those cases and send it back? Police should go ahead.
And at top radio.
And then about Attorney General team with the Ghana laws and Ghana constitution say case now your unresolved murder. I am from Attorney General. What is the police there? Cote d'Ivoire police they do the prosecutions without resort to any Attorney General. That is not the work of Attorney General. That is not the work of Attorney General. Obia kumobi oni police me ni ye exchange gunshot or 2 police ni to akuno in a robbery incident. Ya chene ba na police na ankasa ne docket is what is alleged. And the nipa ku next time no akwa allege we go so allege. It is alleged. Suspect. Is it not sad? The country has lost. We've lost directions in many things. So some of us will get so overly emotional because you compare the country to other countries. Papa, go to Tanzania, go to a place like Kenya.
And at top radio.
Now go and see how Kenya law works. The police. Now go Jana ni Kenya military police. Now we exchange. Ya chewa ni abetwe ho ni etwe alleged suspect. Now no police ni a wakunu ni yonko police ni no. Na police ni sa sorry anopa no afa no de no court no akwaji adjournment no de no court to some extent a murderer police na de ne ka sika ono an pocket money e na kofa no nsawom no de ne trot room handcuff no de ne back de na ko
Faruki anya na ye shift na yemre ka se ye gina system ne military yemre no
joking paradise. This is
joking paradise.
This country,
you don't mean it.
Yeah, but it's a peaceful country, but it's a joking paradise. You don't know. Nenye joking paradise Kwame Nkrumah Avenue up to downtown Accra. In front of the faces, in the eyes of the Ghana police. She baby a market women at the market na bedu. At me G road. Market women G road. Now move to a chamber port, no move P. No move Shegu road, there's no police in Nijina Hall. You cannot arrest her. Yes, I want trouble. Is it a joking paradise? It's not a joking paradise. Look at the traffic. Now the exit roads in the neighborhood. obi mechanic e friend fita etimi gi one full street no yeah straighten work our road no so agi road na neighborhood people in the neighborhood can't even park their cars na me metia road worthy
sorry
metia road worthy na mechanic in my area in your area in her area ono agi road enya ho no oda wode ne boys aye fi no age woje ne some paperwork ye ne bibia ho spray car je fingu ho mechanic age cars e dey see road so for 25 years ya wo AMA
live on top 103.